Hi guys, it's Kelly, and today I wanted to share with you some of my 5-star prediction books. And when I was looking at my shelves, I guess I'm very optimistic because I ended up pulling off a bunch of books, and I really wanted to narrow it down to just 10 because that was just like it was just way too many to share with you. And I got it down to 11. That's as far down as I could go. And you know, I think it's good to be optimistic. It's good that I look at my shelves and think that a lot of them are going to be 5 stars, because you always want to go into a book thinking you're really going to love it. And I did just keep this to books I own, because if I had gone on to like my whole TBR, like from Goodreads and stuff, that would be a huge list. So I really wanted, these are books I could read in the next few months and test out the theory if they're really 5-star reads. And they're just some from each kind of category, so that's why I just kept adding up. So these are like the 11 books right now that I think are going to be 5-star predictions. And the first are a couple of nonfiction books that I'm really looking forward to. And the first one is As You Wish by Cary Elwes. And this is a kind of, I don't know, memoir, kind of like it's him talking about the movie Princess Bride and his experiences there, and kind of tales of what happened during the making of the movie. I've heard really good reviews on this, and I am a huge fan of the movie and the book, and so I'm really thinking that this is going to turn out to be a 5-star. And a lot of people have said to do the audiobook, so I might try to also listen to it, maybe go back and forth between the two. And the other nonfiction is Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer. I really loved his book Under the Banner of Heaven, and this one is about a trip to Mount Everest, and I also really like kind of nature stories, especially ones that kind of involve survival and, you know, bad things happening. So I think this is going to be kind of like the perfect mix of his writing and the kind of stories I enjoy reading, and so I'm excited about that one. And now I'm going to move into kind of more my mystery category. And it's hard because like I don't have any thrillers on this list, because thrillers really depend on a good twist, and so I can never predict if I'm going to love them. But mysteries, especially this one, is part of a series, so I know I love the characters, and so I think I'll still really love it. And this one is The Woman in the Water by Charles Finch, and this is actually a prequel to a series I read called the Charles Lennox Mysteries. And Charles Lennox is a British gentleman who solves mysteries in like the 1860s, and I love I've read I think 6 or 7 or 8 of the books so far and have loved them. I love the characters, and this is when he's a young man, and so I think that some of our characters that we know from the series will be like introduced hopefully in this book, and so I'm really thinking I'm going to love it because it'll be kind of like the origin story. And then the next one is both like a classic and a mystery, and it is The Sign of 4 by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the second book in the Sherlock Holmes mysteries. I just read A Study in Scarlet a couple of months ago. I give it 5 stars. I read The Hound of Baskerville last year, 5 stars. So I kind of think that all the Sherlock Holmes books are going to end up being 5 stars. So I'm excited to continue on in those. And that kind of leads me into a couple more classics that I think are going to be 5 stars. And the first one is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I just hear people raving about this, and I like Oscar Wilde as a playwright, and that's all I've read by him so far is like some of his plays, and so I think I'm going to like it just based on his writing style and just about the reviews and everything and the topic of it. So I think it's just going to be a 5-star book, and I'm excited to read it. And the next one is a huge one, and this is why I have not read it yet, and that is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. And I am a fan of John Steinbeck. I've read Grapes of Wrath and The Pearl several times. The Pearl is a really short like novella, and I really enjoy that book. And so I want to get to this because I know I like his writing, but it is super big. Like, I don't know, this one is like almost 600 pages, this book, and it just is really heavy, and so I haven't gotten to it. But from what I heard, that this is supposed to be like an amazing book that kind of spans generations and whole family and their dynamics. So I think it's going to end up being 5-star when I finally get down and dig into it, which winter for me is a time to sit down with like a giant tome like that. So hopefully like maybe in December I can just sit down and like spend the month focusing on that book. Now I'm going to move into a couple of middle grade series. I really enjoy middle grade books. If you've been watching some of my videos in the past, and I'm kind of looking for that next series that I'm going to love. And so I picked a couple that I'm hoping are going to be series that all of the books turn out to be 5 stars. And the first one is Wild Magic by Tamora Pierce. This is part of a quartet of books. I own the first 3, and I don't usually buy multiple books in a series until I've read the first one, but I just have a lot of faith that this is going to be a series I love, that I bought 3 of them. And I would have bought all 4, but I couldn't find the other one in this book cover at the time when I was buying these, so I'm going to look and see if I can find the matching one for the 4th book. But I just heard such great things about Tamora Pierce and all of her series, and for people I trust and have similar book taste in, that I think I'm just going to adore this series. And then the next one is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This is another one that has like a whole series of books, and I think I'm just going to end up loving them all. I've heard the characters are just like really intelligent young people, and that they have a lot of depth to them, and it just seems like my type of book, being kind of like adventurous but also involving like real brainiac kind of kids, which that's up my alley. I'm excited. I really hope I like this and that I can buy more of the series and get into it. And then I have one book that's like a magical realism book, and I picked this one because my favorite adult author is Sarah Addison Allen, and she does magical realism. And when I read about this book, The Weight of Feathers by Anna Marie McLemore, it sounds like she has a very similar writing style, but this is a YA book, a YA magical realism. So I'm kind of hoping that I will love it the way I love her books and end up reading like all of McLemore's books. I own 2 of them already, and there's 2 more out there, I believe. And so I really hope I love this. This also has, like, from what I read, a kind of Romeo and Juliet vibe to it. So I'm hoping that that kind of star-crossed lovers thing will add to me loving it. And then I have just 2 contemporary books that I think I'm going to love, and the reason is these are authors that I've read a book already and given it 5 stars, so I'm hoping that the trend will continue. And the first one is When We Collided by Emery Lord, and I read The Start of Me and You a few months ago and adored it, and so I hope this will be similar in the fact that it'll be like a YA contemporary romance that involves more than just like the romance part, that'll have like deeper issues going on with the main character and with friendship groups, because that's how The Start of Me and You was, and so I have high hopes for it. And then the last one is Tell Me 3 Things by Julie Buxbaum. I read, what was it called? What to Say Next by her several months ago, and really loved it. Once again, it was like kind of a YA contemporary romance that delved into friendship issues and family issues and like grief and things like that. So I'm hoping this will be another one that'll hit some hard-hitting issues at the same time being a contemporary romance at the same time. Because I kind of like that like juxtapose, like putting both kind of like the lightheartedness of a first love story and with more deep issues that people are struggling with. So those are my 11 books that I narrowed it down to that I think are going to be 5-star reads. If you have read any of these and you love them, let me know. Or if there's ones you really want me to get to before the others, tell me, because, you know, I've owned some of these for several months and haven't read them, and I think part of the reason is I have this like pressure that I do think they're going to be 5 stars, and I don't want to be disappointed, but I really should just read them because I think I'm going to love them. And so kind of making this video, I hope that I'll make it so that I can read them in the next few months, and then maybe in like 3 months I'll update you and let you know if I actually gave 5 stars to these books. So that'll give me like the impetus to like actually sit down and read these books I think I'm going to love. Alright, that's it for today. Talk to you guys later. Bye.